Let me tell you, this country wasn't founded by illegal immigrants. It was founded by settlers who came here to build the country, not bring it down.
Do you think that immigrants are good for the economy as a total?
No.
Really?
I think whatever thing that is happening now is opening up a lot of things and is actually showing people who these guys are, who they are, what they have in their mind for a very long time. And now with the whole talk about, them saying these people have to go here, we have to take these people out and all of that, let them leave this place and all that, it's beginning to open up exactly what black folks have been saying for a very long time, and their lifestyle is now in the open, right? Well guys, I'm going to let the rest of the videos roll, then I'll come back with more commentary. Do well to like and subscribe, and credit belongs to original creators of this video. Let's go watch.
Let me tell you, this country wasn't founded by illegal immigrants. It was founded by settlers who came here to build the country, not bring it down.
Do you think that immigrants are good for the economy as a total?
No.
Really? Not at all?
No.
Not at all?
No.
But what about during
Why don't they get onto the agenda? They're trying to knock out the white race.
Do you think so?
Oh, amen.
They're trying to replace you?
Yeah, we're trying to replace the white race.
Who's they, though?
You find out who they is and come back and then you talk to
you're
me.
the one.
You non-white people in this country can't seem to wrap your heads around the fact that white people in this country are grieving. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you the 5 stages of grief that white people in America have been going through since Obama was elected. The first stage is denial. And this happened right when Obama was first elected into office. We can't be racist. We elected a black man to serve as our president, even though I voted for the other guy. Twice. The second stage is anger. Holy shit, a black guy won again. Oh no. The third stage is bargaining. What do you mean Black Lives Matter? Don't all lives matter? The fourth stage is depression. Stop calling me racist. That's not nice when you call me racist. It hurts my feelings when you call me racist for doing the racist stuff that I do. And the fifth stage brings us to today, where we are right now. Acceptance. And I'm looking at you, Emily Saves the World, you piece of shit. Just openly supporting white supremacy. A restaurant opens, is being called out for white supremacy, and that makes you want to go there. You just say the quiet part out loud now. And that's where this country is. If it's not grief that white supremacists are experiencing, what else do you call it? I have lived as a straight white male for 39 years in Los Angeles, and I have never seen so many sads boys in my entire fucking life. And now, we're just saying the quiet parts out loud, aren't we? We are just okay with the way the world is, with these ignorant, stupid fucking white people just putting their racism on display. Let me tell you something as a straight white male. If you are a straight white male in this country and you can't get a girlfriend, you can't get a job, you can't pay your bills, you have nobody to blame but yourself. This fucking country was built for you, you fucking loser. And I don't care what state you live in. I know that you people in Arkansas and Alabama have the worst fucking education system in the entire country. But you know what? People in other countries will literally swim here to get half the opportunity that you, a straight white person in this country, have. They will fucking fight tooth and nail. They will leave their friends, their family, everything that they know behind just to survive. And you have nothing but time to make excuses and feel disenfranchised by trans people in your sports, by fucking minorities taking jobs that you would never even fucking apply to. Grow the fuck up. Grow a pair of fucking balls. I'm not here for your comments if you disagree with me. I don't give a fuck about your engagement. I'm right, you're wrong, go fuck yourself.
Remigration now is code for ethnic cleansing and mass deportations, whether you're a citizen or not. It started meaning that certain demographics were returning home voluntarily, but it's been hijacked mostly by European neo-Nazi circles and alt-right circles here in the United States, the same ones that are actually running our government at the moment, to mean not returning home and not voluntarily, but more along the lines of, let's get rid of anyone we don't want in this country that we want to be all white. Yes, this term has traveled from European fascist circles and movements into possibly and quite obviously, I would say, into the US government's language. And yeah, we should definitely be concerned. It's far-right extremist code for eliminate, extinguish, exterminate, and deport anyone that you don't feel belongs, whether they are citizens or not, whether they were born here or not, whether their family has been here longer than you or not. Which means any of us can get it. And yes, the same ideology behind the remigration theory or movement or solution is also the Great Replacement theory. It's behind the anti-immigration laws. It's behind the book bans, the voter purges, the anti-trans laws, the anti-black fear-mongering. And it's behind every attempt to shrink who counts as a real American and who doesn't. It's colonial logic. With language like this, the United States government is laying the groundwork so that they can decide who gets to stay, who gets to be erased, and who gets to be protected. Notice how when they talk about remigration, they're not talking about sending themselves anywhere else. No, they talk about Latinos, Muslims, Africans, Asian communities, Palestinians. Let's keep it real. Black Americans have seen this before. From slave patrols to sundown towns, the agenda has always been the same. Control the demographics, you control the power. So we're gonna call it what it is. It's ethno-nationalism. No matter how they try to dress it up as a cute little euphemism, we see what it is. Everyone should see what it is and what they're saying. They want a white America. A whites only America. And they're not being quiet about it anymore.
Oh, great. Another reason for people to hate me for something I had nothing to do with. No, we hate you because you're a terrible person. What are you doing to stop white supremacy? Nothing, because you're a part of the problem. The white people who are actively trying to dismantle the system and end white supremacy are doing just that. They're not sitting here complaining about, oh, people hate me for no reason just because I'm white. They're like, no, white people are terrible, and as a white person, I need to do something to stop it. You see how that works? They have accountability. And they are like, yes, my ancestors did fucked up shit, and it's my duty to make sure I don't repeat the fucked up shit my ancestors did. You see how that works? Accountability, babes. Y'all aren't accountable for nothing. Y'all are just like, oh, you guys hate me for no fucking reason. Bitch, we were enslaved for 400 years. You would hate your oppressors too. And if you don't, you're a weird ass bitch. Duh.
Yesterday morning at 10:38 a.m. on November 28th, not even 24 hours after the D.C. shooting of the National Guardsman, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security posted a message on their official social media account saying, "The stakes have never been higher and the goal has never been clearer. Remigration now." I'm going to confess I didn't know what the word remigration meant. So I have now spent multiple hours researching and reading, and oh my goodness, I do not think I have ever been more concerned about a goal of this administration, and that is saying something. Now, this video is a little longer than normal, but please stay with me because it is vitally important for us to understand, because this is one of the most extremist statements ever made by a U.S. federal agency, and we need to talk about what remigration really means because it has a very specific origin, and it is deeply dangerous. The term comes directly from the European far right, especially it is tied to white nationalist parties in France, Germany, and Austria. They needed a word that sounded softer than ethnic cleansing, so they created the word remigration. The idea behind it is this: not just removing undocumented immigrants, not just deporting recent arrivals, but forcibly removing entire populations, including people born and legal residents and naturalized citizens, and even second and third generation families based purely on ancestry. Remigration, in its historical term, meant anyone that's not white. In Europe, it was openly linked to preserving ethnic purity, and that's the lineage of the word. So when DHS uses that word, it's not an accident. The word comes from a whole suitcase full of extremist ideology. This wasn't some fringe blogger posting. This wasn't an anonymous account. This was the Department of Homeland Security, the agency that controls immigration enforcement, detention centers, deportation operations, border patrol, and citizenship verification systems. For them to post remigration now is a shift from policy language to ideological language. It is the first time in modern American history that a federal agency has repeated a white nationalist slogan. And timing matters. This was posted the morning after a high-profile shooting where the public still didn't even know all the verified facts. Before anyone knows motive, before transparency, before investigation, before clarity, instead of calming the country, DHS used that moment to introduce a far-right ideological framework as its national goal, and that signals intent. And this didn't happen in isolation. Just hours earlier, Trump posted on his own social media platform that the United States needed to denationalize Americans who hold citizenship from multiple countries because they, quote, undermine domestic tranquility. Not deport non-citizens, not remove undocumented immigrants, strip U.S. citizenship from Americans, a direct echo of 1930s authoritarian regimes that removed citizenship from people they wanted to target. And the very next morning, DHS posts re-immigration now, denationalize them, then re-migrate them. That's the pattern. Strip status, remove rights, and remove people. When the president calls for denationalizing Americans and DHS uses foreign far-right language for mass removal less than 24 hours after a crisis, that is not random. That is a coordinated ideological messaging. This is extremist language. This is historically dangerous language. And now it's appearing in official U.S. government communication. People need to understand the significance, because this is not about immigration anymore. This is about defining who counts as a real American and who this government believes it can remove. Go love your neighbor.
It's not about those white people out there. It's about me, and it's about you. Today, we're grounding in Reflection 8 of our ongoing series based on Me and White Supremacy by Layla F. Saad. This reflection invites us to sit with an uncomfortable truth. This work is not about those white people out there, and it's about you, just you. And that line hit me because it's easy to talk about them, the overt racists, the white nationalists. But Layla calls us inward to our own thoughts, behaviors, and silence. She writes that white privilege protects us from having to know what it means to move through the world as BIPOC. The acronym BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, People of Color. And because of that, many of us have unknowingly caused harm. So today, I invite you in. Can you sit with that discomfort? Can you listen? Not for how this doesn't apply to you, but for where it does. This is what Layla calls becoming a good ancestor. Not because it's easy, but because it's right.
For a very long time, right, white supremacy was something only black people and brown people, right, and other minorities only talk about openly. Many white folks avoided the topic, felt uncomfortable, or even denied it existed. But now the conversation is changing fast because people are, finally seeing how the system has, been used like a tool to keep regular people fighting each other while the ones in power benefit. White supremacy isn't only about, someone being openly racist or, hateful to someone else. It's about a system that tries to convince people that they are better than others based on their color. They must, protect their group from others. They should fear other races. They, shouldn't work together. They shouldn't question who is really controlling the system. And the biggest trick of all, it gives regular white people a false sense of power while hiding the truth they are struggling to, right? That's why many white folks are now saying, wait a minute, this isn't, helping us, it's dividing us instead. Many white, Americans today are, dealing with the same problems black folks, have been talking about for decades. High rent, low wages, lack of healthcare, rising cost of living, job insecurity, student loan debt, homelessness, stress, fear, anxiety about the future. Yet, for years, white supremacy told them, you are better than those people over there. Don't work with them. Blame them for your problems. But how can you blame other groups? Blame immigrants? Blame people who actually had done nothing? People who both of you are, struggling to pay the same bills. People who are waking up to this. Now they are, realizing the truth. The same politicians and billionaires who push divisions are the same ones raising prices, cutting benefits, and pushing politics, and policies that harm everyone, no matter the race. White supremacy has, kept people distracted for decades. Instead of asking, why can't I afford healthcare? People were, pushed to ask, who is crossing the border? Like, do you understand? Instead of asking, why is rent higher than my paycheck? They were, encouraged to ask, who is taking my job? Instead of asking, why are billionaires richer while I work 2 jobs? They were told to argue about race, not power. This manipulation, kind of kept them, fighting sideways instead of looking, up and finding out exactly where their problem was coming from. And now many, palm color folks are now saying it all out loud. The system lied to us. They are calling out how, white supremacy created a false hierarchy that, did not actually benefit them. It only kept them loyal to politicians who were working against their own interests. Now, let's actually be for real, guys. White supremacy benefits only a tiny group of people. people, and these are people in power, the very top, not the average white family. If white supremacy truly protected white folks like they claimed, then why are so many white families living paycheck to paycheck, struggling just like every other person, filled with poverty and addiction, worried about their kids' future? You should think about it. But now a lot of them are not coming out to call it what it is openly. It's about refusing to be used as a weapon against other groups. It's about choosing unity over manipulation. And if, of course, it's about building a community and a country where everyone fights the real problem. The powerful few who want, people divided. When white folks say white supremacy is keeping us divided, they're admitting something important. The future is stronger when everyone, stands together. And that's what we're seeing in real time. But, black folks have been saying this for decades. A lot of them didn't take time to really listen. I think that this particular time is actually opening the eyes of a lot of people. And that's why you have so many people, even though they voted against their own interests before now, but somehow the whole administration and their policies have opened their eyes to the real world and what is really happening within them. Well, guys, let me know what your own take are in the comments. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. Please do well to like and subscribe, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. Credit belongs to original creators of this video. See you all on my next. Bye, guys.